go ahead and click into the gear icon. That's going to drop us into the settings. On the left-hand side, we'll navigate on over to the integrations, and then we'll head down here and click into vendor integrations. So from here, you'll simply just click into the procure to pay section. We'll go into Gensco. This is where you'll go ahead and map the Gensco provider. And then as we move from left to right, the customer will go ahead and provide their Gensco account number as well as the postal code associated to the branch for Gensco as well. And then as we map the account, they have the ability to decide if they want to map the integration either to a business unit, what in our world we call the department, or they could link it to a truck or a warehouse as well. And below, they'll just go ahead and fill the information, click the edit pencil to select the business units that they'll be creating the electronic purchase orders for. Outside of that, they'll go ahead and sync the account number. And then everything will be mapped. If it doesn't, for any reason, it will error out, and then our project managers can assist with that. So that's all they'll need to do, at least from the integration perspective. Now, ultimately, how will we map price book items to the Gensco catalog? So in order to do that, they'll just simply click into the price book module.
Excuse me, on the integration?
Yeah.
Job accounts, does that work the same way?
Job accounts, was there a particular,
Like ship to accounts, where you have a main account, and then you have ship to accounts for Gensco?
Main account and ship to account. So that will probably be most likely in the actual vendor profile.
Okay.
So if I scroll down a little bit further and I head over into the purchasing module, go into vendors, you can edit and include that information here. Awesome. Any additional questions on that? Cool. So the next thing I want to show you guys is just ultimately how easy would it be to just map items, whether it's inventory, material parts, or equipment. To do that, we'll go ahead and click into the price book, into the material section. And then if I click the edit pencil just for the first one here on the list, just to show an example, they'll just simply scroll all the way down. They'll mark the item to map it to a primary vendor. In this example, that would be Gensco. The part number will be included. They can add a special note if they want to reference that. And then they'll set the cost. That will be imported to match the cost on their end from which they purchase it at. And then what we'll do next is go into the actual purchasing module to demo the workflow of what a purchasing manager would do to initiate that and create the electronic PO. So to do so, we'll go ahead and click into the purchasing tab here. We'll navigate into the purchase order queue. I'll go ahead and walk you guys through on what the process looks like when we create a pending PO, sending it out, and then either partially or fully receiving that order. So we'll go ahead and click Create New. They can tie that to a job. We'll select the business unit. Again, that's just our synonym for department. Go ahead and select the Gensco profile. Indicate that we are going to replenish this and receive it to the main warehouse. They can also include any notes. Otherwise, in this section, they'll go ahead and just add in the item. Actually, give me one moment here. Let me add a specific item real quick. So we delete the first one. And then outside of that, we'll go ahead and click Create. And then in the profile settings, we've already designated that the delivery method, the preferred delivery method is going to be the electronic PO request. So once you hit the drop-down menu, we'll go ahead and send it as electronic delivery. That's when it's going to funnel into your ERP system to go ahead and initiate that request. At this time, once the customer is awaiting for those items to arrive to their shop or warehouse, they'll go ahead and click receive. And then if there's any sort of packing slip or digital packing slip or any sort of PDF information that they'd like to include, they can upload that, something that they can cross-reference later on. Otherwise, what they'll do down here is acknowledge that we did receive the initial request of one item. Scroll back to the top and click save. And then in doing so, that will generate a receipt and a vendor bill that ultimately they'd be able to export into their QuickBooks account to process the payment there.